In pre-Islamic Arabia, the head covering was not exclusive to a particular religion. Different tribes and communities had their own customs and traditions regarding the use of head coverings, and they varied in style, material, and purpose. Before Islam, various head coverings were worn by men and women, and for practical, cultural, and social reasons. And we say hijab because that's what it's known as today, but it's simply a head covering. When we talk about the practical reasons why people wore, it was originally based on the climate because Arabia is in a desert, they have sandstorms, and so they would wrap their faces and heads to protect their face and their hair from the environment that they lived in. And it makes sense, right? Why they would do that. They would cover their heads for practical reasons. One example of a head covering was just a long cloth that covered the head, the neck, and shoulders of women. It was commonly worn by women from certain tribes, and it was used to provide protection from the sun and sand and wind. The khamar was made out of a lightweight fabric, and it could be pulled forward to shield the face in harsh weather conditions. Another head covering that was worn by both men and women was a square scarf typically made of cotton or wool, and it was used to protect the head and face from the sun, dust, and sandstorms as well. So it had a practical utility in the desert environment, and these clothes were in line with the traditional attire of Arab nomads and tribes. Other head coverings in pre-Islamic Arabia are the turbans, which were worn by men and served both a functional and decorative purpose. Turbans were made out of a long strip of cloth, and it's wrapped around the head, providing protection from the elements and symbolizes a social status and tribal affiliation. So it's important to note that the specific practices and meanings associated with head coverings in pre-Islamic Arabia varied among different tribes and regions, but the arrival of Islam in the 7th century brought significant changes to the culture and religious landscape and the meaning of these head coverings, and then that caused the development of new norms and practices regarding head coverings, such as the hijab for women. While the origins of the head coverings in pre-Islamic Arabia provides a good historical context, it's important to recognize that these practices and understandings surrounding head coverings have evolved and changed with the advent of Islam, and today it is practiced as a way to oppress and control women. Whereas women before Islam had the option to take off their hijab because it wasn't primarily used as something that was forced on women. They wore it because it protected them from the elements. Today, Muslim women have to wear it. They don't really have a choice under the religion, and many of them are abused if they decide or choose not to wear the hijab.